Hello, everyone. Are you stressed at work? You won't be anymore. Don't worry. Welcome to one more episode of Talking Times. Today, I'm here with Caio. We're gonna talk a lot about his experience studying English abroad. We're gonna talk about Philly, about Kansas City, about how he survived a burnout. A lot of interesting stuff there. And we're gonna talk. I just found out about 𝗂𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃, but not the way you expected. Right after our podcast intro. Welcome, Caio. I told you, man, I never know what I'm gonna say, and it's always such a mystery and a delightful experience.
Me here with all people. Thanks for
uh,
your
you
thanks for the
were you were
opportunity.
just you were just telling me, about how you fell in love with English, the influence of a teacher. But before we go back to that, just please introduce yourself to everyone watching us.
So people, I'm Caio Suzarte. I am 47 years old and I live in Feira de Santana, Bahia. And I'm an English teacher, as he said. I work with special education too. I provide classes, I give support to ADHD students, students with all levels of intellectual disability, and just one student with ASD, with autism. This is me.
And that's okay. We got a lot of to cover about that as well, but let's start, from the beginning. Um, okay, how was your first experience with English? Share that with us, and then the
Mhm.
influence of 𝗂𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗃 and how you started to learn English. Sorry
You
about
know,
the spoiler, but yeah.
but it is interesting because people will be very curious about that. Little did I had the vinyl, the discs here that my mom used to have. Uh, my dad gave uh, vinyl discs to my mom, and she used to buy them when we were very young. Many of them were with international music, classical music and American music. And you know that soap opera soundtracks. I won't say the
Oh,
names of the soap operas because they're very old.
oh,
But I
let's
used
do it. But say
to.
them in English. For example, I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Wait, my brain is almost breaking right now. Take it there, give it here,
Mhm.
something like this.
Older, older.
Toma lá da cá, you got it.
Toma lá da cá. Okay, I
The
got
King
it.
of the Kettle. This is a classic. Everybody knows.
Yeah. Uh-huh. But there's a one that the name will be very funny in English.
Uh,
I told you.
I
I
told you.
told you.
Okay, I don't know if I have seen this one. This is from the 90s or from the 80s.
70s.
Ah, okay, I wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
I was born in 85, so okay.
Jesus. I'm very
Yeah,
old.
the oldest one that I remember is Pantanal, Vamp, maybe, Vamp.
Vampy, I was a preteen in Vampy, I think.
Mm,
So,
I started to like vampires because of this fucking soap opera. Who would say? Oh, by
it
the
was
way, I
very
didn't tell you before. You can curse. It's okay. Okay, the channel is not monetized yet. Yet.
nice.
So sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted you, man. So the
No,
vinyls
no
from the
problem.
the soap opera soundtracks.
And I used to listen to those the vinyl discs, like listening people like Elton John, Barbara Streisand, um, another one that Rita Coolidge, country music, and time passed. Time passed, and then I went to elementary school.
Mhm.
When I go to a school here, and as a coincidence or not, I still work in this school where I used to study. And I met in fifth grade my first year there, the famous teacher Ana Maria Braga.
Yeah. Didn't used to work on TV yet.
No, no.
It's another
Even
one. Ha ha ha. Yeah,
even even though she didn't try to teach us to cook some
yeah.
special
That
dishes,
would be
but
funny, huh?
we wanted. She was very
Yeah.
nice. And then, as I was telling you, she used to take cassette tape players to the classroom and pass the dialogue, play the dialogues, and we would repeat the dialogue. So okay, only me and other students because nobody said that. And she played a track like um, "Tomorrow is going to rain." Rewind. Tomorrow is going to rain. Everybody repeats. Only Caio and Ana Paula.
Cri,
Tomorrow is
cri,
going to
cri,
rain, and
cri,
the
cri.
audience. Ha 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 ha.
But do you think they were kind of intimidated because they didn't know the language and they were afraid? And because you listened to the songs and you kind of liked, you were more engaged. Maybe it was something like this.
I think both information you brought are true.
Mm.
They felt intimidated by the moments, listening and
Mm.
repeating, afraid of making mistakes. And
That's something very
I was
common, right?
more familiar because I had those discs at home, and so I used to listen to music. It was very nice.
You
And
listening to
then
some White Snake and then you go to the class and you kick ass. That's nice.
I haven't. We didn't have rock discs here, but
uh,
we had one that had rock. Only one, a dark horse, a cover. I don't remember the name, but there used to be Beatles, something like that. And that's when I fell in love with English for the first time because of this teacher, because of Ana Maria. Uh, Sixth grade, well, fifth grade and sixth grade, my first contact with the language.
and
Oh, something very interesting that I have to tell you people is that I used to study in a public school, and the public school provided us all the books: geography, history, Portuguese, math. But English books they did not provide us, and I had no opportunities to buy the book, and I had to get the book borrowed from a friend. He used to lend me the book. I answered the exercises in advance, and then I had to take the cassette tapes from my teacher. He used to lend me the cassette tapes so I could play at home and practice.
it's
And
like
then
that
he'll go
this
back to her
story.
house to give them back. Well, 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's like that story that there is this guy who is the famous
Anderson
little
Reed.
uncle. You know, this old guy. He records some TikTok videos. He's very funny because it's always those funny editions and stuff like this. And there is one that is like, back in my day, this was my journey to go to school, and then he passed like in Mordor, and then in a river, and then some a jaguar almost attacked. It was like a journey to go to regular school, and then like, oh, you kids have it easy today. There's
I just
something
say
that
that.
you told me there, Kyle, that is interesting. I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit, but your the sparkle of getting interested on the languages started with a motivated teacher. Like you said, she was great. She used to bring this extra stuff, even in a way kind of against the system, right? The school provides all
Yeah.
the books, but English no. But she kind of gave it away, like went around to do something for the students.
Coffee.
My question is, how do you keep teachers engaged and motivated public schools? Because sometimes I don't know, if you have a tenure and you are there and you're like, whatever, I'll just do whatever I have to do, like to kill time. But how do you create professionals that are highly motivated, and then we can have this what happened to you replicated to other students? No.
One thing that I can tell, one or two, motivation is not easy to find. but what you can do with students in public schools, because we have big groups in some private schools too, is don't take too long texts. Take texts or materials, documentaries, movies, not short parts of movies, approaching their reality, what they want, what they're interested in, to provide discussions in classroom, even in Portuguese. And sometimes you point English here, you point English over there, because in public schools we have moments that we can work with practicing, with speaking and listening, but most of the times we work with reading and writing.
Mm. Yeah, it has to be interesting. It has to be interesting. I always share this when I talk about my education. I had this one teacher. I don't know. It's the 100th time I mentioned Dona Terezinha here, but it's the first one that you mentioned Ana Maria Braga. I have to bring mine too, because she was the one who provided like very fun, those Vagalume collections and other types of books that they were actually fun and interesting to read. So since I got the first book that I started reading when I was on the third grade. I was 8 or 9 years old, and I got it's the one that is about a dog. It's the Call of the Wild. I think that there's a movie adaptation, by the way. It's about a dog named Buck, and the book's the story of the dog. It was one of the most fascinating things I've ever encountered at the time. It was like, wow, I want to know more stories, more stuff like this. It was a very nice experience, and started with a teacher like, oh, I don't care, pick a book, you have like a week or two, and you write like a short report about the story, what did you learn. That was it. Very simple, very straightforward. I read a lot, during my time with that was so cool. um I don't know if it is something we can change in Brazil, but a lot of the education seems like you need to memorize stuff to pass in a
Yes,
test.
yes. And this doesn't work anymore, and people just don't realize it. The responsible, the guys responsible for education systems in Brazil don't realize that. And especially with technology and social media, students are not interested in something very long. You
Hmm.
don't have
The
to
attention
take
span is kind of
they,
decreasing, right? Too much TikTok and this type of stuff.
more and more. So, as I said, provide something that is significant to their reality, their lives.
Hmm.
And another interesting point that we can talk, we can mention, is working with projects. They like
PBL,
projects.
huh? The famous PBL.
Yeah, they like projects in school. For example, an English day, a day where they will make cosplay of some famous singers like Michael Jackson, Madonna, Lady Gaga, Beyonce, so many, any of them, any they like. Uh, and we can make a project making a parallel between cultural dates here and cultural dates in the United States. Nowadays, we are facing some problems with Halloween here because of religion. Some schools
Hmm.
have a rigid vision of religion, and they don't accept that we bring Halloween to. But it's interesting, at least, to mention it in classroom.
Hmm. Every year I have because I work in an English school, man, so we gotta cover Halloween, and I kind of like terror, horror, the stories that, but I always talk to my teachers. All right, guys, we need to offer a lot of classes and experiences about this. Some more, oh, like for the normies, if you don't like terror, this stuff, or blah blah blah, you don't want to learn about Senhai and whatever. Okay, just keep the regular classes. But yeah. Um, I think what people don't realize that even if it's some stuff that you are not into, by engaging in the activity and explaining why you are not into using the fucking language is very useful, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like this
Mhm.
stuff because of blah 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 blah. Okay, that's productive.
They just refuse to speak. If they use English, as you were saying, just to say, I don't care about it, I don't like it, and, and provide justifications why.
Yeah, exactly. So it can be something productive, even if it's something they don't enjoy. You mentioned talking to neurodivergent kids.
Yes.
Uh, that's something very interesting. Can you share a little bit with us? What are the main differences as a professional, as a teacher, in approaching this type of students comparing to regular ones, or it is very similar how the challenges and the insecurities and how can we make the parallel between the two?
Uh, in special education, we call them typical and atypical.
Mm-hmm.
Typical students. I must confess that I prefer 1,000 times the atypical ones. And
Okay.
the main difference, because when we work with atypical students, we support them, we give classes only for one or two students together.
Okay, makes
And
sense.
most of the times they are well behaved. They start to pay attention to what you're saying, to what you're trying to teach, to pass to them. In the very beginning, you feel a little challenged, especially for students with intellectual disability, because if you teach something like, if the student has a medium intellectual disability, you teach uh, 2 times 3 is 6, okay? And you get the objects to make the student see 2 times 3 being
Mm,
6. Okay, teacher, I got it. After 10 minutes of the activity, you go back to this question. How much is 2 times 3? The student doesn't multiply. The student adds. So 2 times 3 is 5. And you have to come back to the explanation and make a round to make the students understand again. But I think that's the only challenge, in my opinion.
okay.
Having to explain a little more and finding different ways to explain. And nowadays we are working with uh, a theory that is very interesting called UDL, is Universal Design for Learning, that we go to the regular classroom with activities designed for atypical students, for the special ones. And these activities do help the typical ones because they come with from a background of not learning basic things in mathematics, for example. And when we work with an exercise adapted to the atypical ones, they learn. And
It
this is
makes a
good.
lot of sense. Yeah, because again, it sounds to me, you know, from the outside, that is something that was really thought to. This is the step by step of how he will learn the first basic concepts, and then he can develop the other stuff. And when we go to the typical students, it's like, okay, you have to memorize this stuff. Why? Because, you know, kind of a rush way, you know, in a way.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh
this
boy.
is very gratifying. I like it.
And so I guess the whole problem, you know, as ironic as it sounds, like you said, the theory is better adapted to suit the student's needs, but you have a better learning environment. You have a professional that doesn't have 38 students to share his attention. He has two, so while he gives an activity to one, he can pay attention to the other, and vice versa. They can together. while for the typical students, you will have a bunch of them in a classroom and humanly impossible to control and to hook their attention 100% of the time, right?
For example, in ASD students with autism spectrum disorder, it's horrible for them because the noise disturbs them. They can't concentrate, and their regulation goes to space.
Oh boy.
Very hard for them. Have to use headphones and a challenge.
I imagine. Okay, so I guess you answered a few of my doubts here. Like there is no hope for our. No, I'm joking. Okay, tell me a little bit about your experience in United States. You went there firstly for studying, right? Kansas
Oh
and
yeah,
Philadelphia.
Kansas. Firstly, I went to Kansas, and it was a dream because when I was going back to sixth grade, when I was studying with Ana Maria Braga, I
Yes.
used to think, oh my God, I will never go to the United States because it can be very difficult, it will be very expensive, blah, 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 blah. When I was there, when I was preparing everything here, documents, passport, preparing the luggage, as in Portuguese we say, the coin didn't
Ah,
fall.
the
No,
penny dropped. The penny dropped. Yeah.
the pin drop didn't. And when the plane landed in Chicago, Chicago, yeah, Chicago. When we left the plane and we were walking through the airport, and a lot of people speaking English, and my
I'm in
my
another
blood,
country now.
yeah, my blood froze. I said, "My God, I'm here. I'm so far from home. Who's gonna take care of me?" Just kidding.
Ah, but this is a common fear, you know. I people laugh when I say this, but it kind of got stuck with me. I remember clearly talking to a student, and we were having a class because he was preparing to travel abroad, and he said, "Mike, what do I do if I get the wrong train and I go to a Cracolândia there?" He said exactly like this, and this was his
There are
friend
those
fear, you
places
know.
there.
And like how do I come back, you know? I said, no, wait, man, it's fine with the English you have. You just need to ask the person responsible for selling the ticket and reading. You're fine, you're gonna be fine. Turns out I never saw the guy again. No, I'm joking. Everything was fine. Everything was fine. But it's a common fear because you're far from home and alone. How old were you at this time?
2018, I was, so we are 2023, 26. I was 39.
Okay, 39.
Yeah,
So you were a grown man already,
yeah, I was a
but that
grown man.
doesn't help at all. That doesn't help at all. Yeah. This is still terrifying. Yeah.
So when
Okay, but
we landed in Chicago, and the weather was extremely cold. Thanks to God, I went there in winter. When we got the
you
second
are from
plane,
Bahia and you went there in winter.
oh, I love winter. It's winter here. It's a little
Oh my
cold, but I'm
God,
so
what is
happy.
happening here? I don't like this place. I want to go back. Like 1 minute to United States.
My gosh. When we
Man.
landed in Kansas, my friend, the coordinator went to the airport to receive us, and she took us to the hotel.
I
After one
imagine you
hour,
guys looking to one another like we made it. Coach, right? Or the
wait,
famous
wait for the
Coach
best
net.
part. Cold, man. Very cold. And then we went to the hotel, and 1 hour and a half later, she said, "Oh, I'm gonna take you to Plaza." Plaza is a shopping center. It's very
Mm.
famous in Kansas City. It is an outdoor shopping center, and
Ah, nice.
the
Oh,
architecture.
it's outdoor shopping center. And it was
I,
freezing
I don't know
cold.
if I made a mistake. A mistake, but it's not. It doesn't have a ceiling. It's many, many, and many streets, and they have security guards all around, and it's very
No, I mean,
beautiful. The
it's
architecture
very
is very
beautiful, but I imagine it was freaking cold too there.
It was. And when we were there, it started first frozen rain, and then
Mhm.
the coordinator said, "It's gonna rain, it's gonna snow for you." And when the first freckle of snow on my hand,
I
it
don't like
froze.
this place.
No, I loved it. And when I look into my hands, I saw the crystal of the snow. A tear fell.
Ah, really? Oh, that's because
Yeah,
okay. I'm laughing here, but I will be the first guy, man, in the middle of the food square in this shopping center doing the snow angel. Like, oh, look at me, that's so beautiful.
I
Because
have
it's not
pictures
common
of
for
it.
us in Brazil. Yeah, yeah.
We laid on the snow, and then we started crying. Everybody said, "We're here. We did it. We did." And one of our classmates had been to the United States before. She didn't cry, but she was very happy and
Wow,
laughing.
that's nice.
Hmm.
Nice. Because
And
it is something interesting because it's not only a language, right? Because we watch shows, movies, we hear stories. When you actually go to the place, you know, yeah, I don't know if it happened to you, but it's like a flash, of all the experiences you've been through, and like, okay, I'm definitely here now. It's not like this dream. I made it. We are here. That's kind of nice, man.
and after 1 week, during this first week, we had some problems. We got a little stuck with the language sometimes because we were adapting. But after the first week, I was in the supermarket talking to the cashier, blah 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 blah. I said, "My gosh, I can understand everything she says, and she can understand everything I say. I'm the best."
This is one of the best feelings in the world, man. So
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And because it opens a whole universe of experiences for you. Like you are there, everybody has a story. So you meet a person in a old man in a bus stop, and like, oh my god, okay, it's like an open book, and you start chatting. Very cool. Very
As
cool.
Kansas City is a country city, is in the heart of the United States, we had some contact with Mexican people, with Latin people, but it was just a little. Most of people I had contact were Native American, and I had the opportunity to practice my listening and my speaking a lot. I still have a friend from there called. I hope he's watching here. I don't know. I send the link through my WhatsApp status and Instagram. Matthew Hughes. Uh,
Shout out to you,
he
Matthew.
gave me a lot of support in the United States when I was there because one day I got sick and he gave some medicines to me. He introduced me to his friend. He used to work in a very important NGO there, and he introduced me to his boss, Len. It was very interesting, very nice. And other people I met were very interesting. But later, when I talk about Philadelphia, you will see that I met many different people.
Okay, we'll go there soon. Uh, you mentioned the weather. What were the other cultural shocks, if I can say, comparing to what you were used to in Brazil? Okay, the language
Okay.
is one because there is an English that we learn in schools and books, and the English with the accent and these little differences from the place that you are. The people too. So, what were the other cultural shocks that you found?
Two. First one, Kansas City has a part that is far from downtown. And when you go to this neighborhood, you can see that chart famous in the country movies with the white cover. And say, "Go west." This neighborhood, my friend, people English is so hard to
Is
understand.
that I don't understand a goddamn thing you're trying to tell
Yeah,
me?
yeah. And at the end of the sentence, they do something like that. Uh, mm, you've been here for such a long time.
It's like
Yeah, it's true.
they run out
Yeah.
of battery.
And I was having a haircut there, and the woman was cutting my hair and talking. I was like, oh my god! I hope it's not a question.
Or something like this. Well, I hope she's not asking if the haircut is fine, or you leave the place, you have like a bozo haircut and say, "Oh my god!" I say, "Oh, that's what you order for."
The very funny thing that I'm sure you were gonna laugh when she asked me or told me something, and I pardon me.
Hmm.
I, again, pardon me. For the third time, pardon me. She did. I said, my God, I will have
Could you
problems.
please repeat without a turtle in your mouth, please?
Yeah.
But yeah,
The other one.
we need
The other
time,
one.
right, to get used to the accent.
Yes. And the other one was food. Food, my
Mm,
friend. Because here in Bahia, I think there in São Paulo where you live, we buy groceries, fresh
mm,
groceries. We buy vegetables. We buy meat. We buy sauce. We buy so everything to prepare our food. Or when we go to a restaurant, the food is fresh. United
mm.
States, the restaurant of the university was beautiful. The food looked great. But when I
Like
eat,
a fast food advertising.
yeah, my friend, 30 minutes later, I had to go to the restroom. It was awful. I had to take medicine
Oh,
almost
that
2 months
bad?
taking medicine. Yes. And the other thing, pepper. They eat a lot of pepper. Yeah, like we call pimenta do reino here in Brazil. They on the
Mm,
at the table they put a salt and a pepper vase, so you can
mm.
put more in your food.
Okay, something that I share with my Baianos and Mineiros friends is that we like our foods with taste. So we like seasoning, you know. So if I'm cooking something, there's going to be onions, garlic, some paprika and curry and whatever. I like seasoning. And I have this friend when he moved to. He was actually here, Victor. Shout out to him. And he said, "Ah, Mike, the food's there." I first started leaving United States, it felt a little flat, like. And he says the food in Brazil is way better. He said there's not a lot of seasoning.
Yeah, it's flat. That's the word.
Oh boy, that's why they put ketchup everywhere, huh?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
To save the
Okay.
food.
Then all right. So after this time in Kansas, you went straight to Philadelphia, or was it a lot of time after that?
Just a sec. So after I came back from Kansas,
Hmm.
let me see. I came back from Kansas on the end of February. Yes, in 2019, in June, I went to Philadelphia.
Okay, nice.
I participated in the selection and I was selected and went again. Philadelphia? Well, I went to Philadelphia in summer.
Oh, nice.
Man, I thought I
Winter in
knew.
Philadelphia. I remember the Rocky Balboa movies. It's like
Uh-huh.
a lot of snow.
There is a museum there, Rocky Museum. He's like this in front of the
Yeah,
museum, the statue.
everybody runs the staircase, right?
Uh-huh. And man, I had no idea how hot summer was in the United States. Jesus Christ, it's desperating. You have 40 degrees sensation
Oh
very
boy.
easily there. Yeah, it's horrible. I almost passed out one day. And I live in Northeast. I live in Bahia. It's hot, but it was very, very strange, the weather. Uh, Colleagues. My colleagues in Kansas City were a little more close-knit because all of us
Mm,
were from Northeast. When I went to Philadelphia, we had some people from Paraná, and they were a little more distant from us.
mm.
We had contacts, we had activities in classroom, but we were not so close when moments when we had to go out, hang out. And so I used my social intelligence to make friends. I
Nice.
started going out in Philadelphia
Alone.
and alone, or
Okay.
sometimes with my colleague from the guy who shared the room with me.
Now, you
Sometimes.
guys watching us, take
Mm.
notes. If you are alone in a country, you're gonna learn how you can start making friends. It's not rocket science, by the way, right? So, what happened there that you could start interacting and making friends? It would be very fun if you say, "No, Mike, I met no one there."
I'm gonna
Not
tell you
the
my
world.
secret. I'm
Uh,
gonna tell you my secret, and some people will laugh. I downloaded Tinder,
hmm.
and Tinder helped me a lot. I made 3 friends, but the first one, no, the second one, a Hungarian guy. The other person that I hope is watching the podcast, Peter Vargas. He helped
So
me.
shout out to you, Peter.
He loves Brazil. He loves Rio. He likes Salvador too. He came here when I came back from Philadelphia. 3 months later, he came to Brazil to visit me, and he introduced me to Philadelphia, to dance clubs, to bars, to different places. And then I met other people. I met people from Scotland. Another guy called
Nice.
Mohammed. Okay, Egypt is very common. People have this name. Mo,
Uh-huh.
he introduced me to other different places, to restaurants, to dance clubs, again to bars. And my experience in making foreigner friends was more rich in Philadelphia than in Kansas City. I still have friends in Kansas City, but American ones, just two. In Philadelphia, I have many other friends from many different countries.
Man, I imagine your listening might have improved so much because talking to somebody from Egypt, Scotland, and people from all over the world, it kind of forces our brain to recognize the patterns in their speech, right?
Yes.
Like,
Mhm.
this one doesn't pronounce this vowel, this one links this consonant to whatever. Oh, this might
And
have been
funny
amazing.
thing, when Peter was talking to his friend in Hungarian, I yeah, I became desperate. N- Not even Arabic sounds so strange to me. What a strange language.
I will not imitate Arabics here because I don't want to die. I'm joking, but it sounds different. It's more like a something more like
The
it's
sound
more
comes
laid
from
back.
here.
Yeah. Man, this is amazing. I had this friend from Morocco, and I remember it's so funny. The first time I talked to him, because he had a mix of Moroccan English with French English, the accent. A lot of this risp in his voice. I understood like 40%. I remember you telling about the pardon me. Pardon me. I was like, wait, what? Okay, what? Oh, come again? Say that. Because they were like, Mike, we should go to a club and party. Okay, what? After a lot of time hanging out, it became like 1-to-1, like 100%. Because again, adaptation is something amazing. And this is, by the way, it's a nice hint that we can tell the students watching us.
Yes.
You are adapting to listening to accents just keep going. Maybe after 6, 8 weeks, your brain will adapt and it will become normal. Yeah. Nice, man. Was the was the foods in Philly any better than the one you had in Kansas?
Pardon me? I couldn't follow you.
Was the foods in Philadelphia any better than the one you had in
Oh,
Kansas?
friend, even much better. Listen to me. In Kansas City, we stayed in a hotel, but we hadn't had lunch there. We had
Hmm.
lunch in the university. In Philadelphia, we stayed in a hotel. In this hotel, we had two beds, two bedrooms separately. We
Mhm.
had a fridge, uh, dishwashing machine, two TVs, and so, and they gave us a card from the university, and there was money in this card, so we could buy electronics, and we could buy food. We could go shopping for food, and we went to a restaurant, not a supermarket called
Hmm.
Fresh and Grocer, and there was this chicken, like barbecue chicken that like this, and we used to buy this barbecue chicken, and we bought garlic, cilantro, onions, macaroni, all the things, beans. I never thought I would find beans in the United States to buy.
But similar the ones we eat here.
Yeah, yeah. We
Nice.
call in Bahia carioquinha beans. And I
Yeah,
prepared
yeah.
food, and my friend was very happy. He was lucky because I know how to cook. And
I
so I
imagine
bought.
they smell through the hotel like, oh, look, it smells good. The Brazilians are here. They're probably cooking.
Yeah. And I used to prepare very different kinds of food. And one day, a friend of us from Paraná went to our bedroom. He used to play the guitar, and we were talking, eating, and they were drinking wine. It was very interesting, very nice. The
Yeah,
experience
nice.
with food in Philadelphia was even better because of this, and because of another friend called Brian. Brian took me to a diner. I didn't know a diner. That place where you can put a
You get the
coin and choose the
pancakes
song,
and stuff.
the pancakes, and you can choose the put the coin and choose the music.
Ah, yeah, like the jukebox, jukebox.
Jukebox, yes.
Huh.
And then the waiter came very fast. Man, waiters in the United States work so goodly. They are so fast. He said, "What do you want? Well, how can I help?" And he showed me the menu. Wait a
Mhm.
second. Really, a second. He was back. What, how can I help? I want this and this and this. And then Brian, hmm, are you going to eat all that stuff you asked? And I said, yeah, it's just a portion of onion rings, a sandwich, a hamburger, and blah, blah, blah. I don't remember what. Man, when the woman came back with the soda, it was a gallon of soda like that.
Oh, they know how to
The
eat there,
hamburger
right?
was this big. The portion of onion rings was enormous. I ate only half of the food, and I felt stuffed. That
You
I
order a
told
doggy
him.
bag, you know?
Yeah, he said, I told you you wouldn't be able to eat everything, but the food
This
was
is
very
something cool
tasty.
about there, right? Like, okay, they eat a lot of fast food, but the sizes are kind of, actually big. It's not like
You
a.
pay and you have food.
Okay, that's
Like in
nice.
Portuguese we say here in Bahia, no misery, please. No misery.
Yeah, no misery. All right. Okay, let's go over the title of this podcast was about the burnout thing. So far so good. The experiences that you were sharing, but how did you end up going through this experience, and what led you to that? And then we can discuss how to avoid going to this type of burned out experience.
How to avoid. First
Yeah.
of all, try to understand yourself, observe yourself. Pay attention to signals because they are something like a red flag.
Mm.
When you start to feel tired all the time, even though you sleep the whole night and you don't feel you don't feel rest. And when students make you run out of patience even faster than you used to do in the past, when your personal relationships are being damaged by your stress, by your spiritual state, it's time to look for help. Your body will give signals too. Something like your heartbeat will change. You'll have headaches. I had many headaches. I had insomnia, and this is desesperating because you feel anxious about the insomnia, and it produces another anxiety.
And
When you stress out,
it's crazy because you say, I need to sleep, I need to rest, otherwise I won't be able to, to fulfill my activities. And then you get anxious, and then you don't sleep, and then you don't rest, and then kind of retrofeeds itself. But it's never like a sudden thing, right? Like one day you are fine, the other like completely exhausted. It kind of builds up, right? It's
it
something
builds up.
graduates.
You're right. It starts. The bad thing is that you don't realize the first signs your body gives you, that your mental health gives to you at burnout. The only thing is, one day you wake up and you feel that you can't do your work anymore, that you have to take a license to work in a different part of the school, and this makes you feel bad because you think it's not true, but you think that you are incapable of doing your job.
Like I lost my thing, right? I used to. I imagine in a way it feels a little bit closer to when you are depressed. Like you feel guilty because you don't feel what you think you were supposed to feel or what you used to. Like this doesn't give me joy anymore, and then oh, I'm a bad professional. I bet whatever. Yeah,
But when you are in the middle of the process, look for. May I talk about the suggestions I have?
of course, of course.
Okay. Look for a mental health help. Look for a psychiatrician. Look for a therapist because they're going to play a very important role in your process. Work out, go to the
Makes a lot
gym,
of sense.
yeah, or play tennis, go swimming, ask some people you know to play cards, go out for a walk, go jogging, do anything. Don't be stopped. Because when you work, make your body work, when you put your body in movement, the harmonies start to become stable. I felt this. Nowadays, when I don't go to the gym, 2 days in a row, I start feeling a little more anxious, a little more impatient. The day when I go back to the gym, everything's normal again. In my case, I went back inside myself. I made many different readings. I used aromatic therapy. It was very good to me. Some essences, some scents I used to smell helped me. Um,
This is kind of
aromatherapy helped.
interesting because it reminds me of meditation because if it's a sensorial thing, it will ground you in the present, right? So you don't feel anxious.
I used meditation a lot. I had to learn how to meditate because for most of people it's very difficult. I thought I wouldn't never meditate. But nowadays when I start the process, I forget everything. I don't sleep because in the very beginning we sleep when we are trying to meditate. And it's okay. But when you learn, Guy, you spent 45 minutes there in Alpha. Very good in Theta. Very good and feeling fulfilled. And especially say that uh, every hour of meditation corresponds to 2 hours of sleep. This
Oh
helps
boy,
me
I need to do it
immensely.
more than I'm not there yet. I'm in the like 5 to 15 minutes, because I normally get a time in my day and do this. I don't know which one do you practice, Kyle, but for me, the one that was the most effective is the mindfulness. I choose some stimulus and I focus my attention there. And when I notice, I relax. The awareness thing is so
Oh,
nice.
this is very good. I thought, you know what I like to do? I open YouTube on Alexa and put Tibetan bubbles. Ding, ding. When they make that movement. Guy, I forget the world when I listen to that. I spent one
Nice.
hour and ooh, and other very important things that I have to tell you people if you want to avoid burnout. Not only burnout, depression, stress, everything to that will cause you mental problems to your mental health or emotional health. Time to wake up, time to go to bed,
Mm.
time to have your meals. Okay, it's impossible not to eat processed food because some of them are good, but
Do it
try
as a reward, maybe, right? Like,
yeah, try to avoid processed food. And in my case, I gave up on alcohol.
interesting.
Not not to lie, the last time I drank alcohol was Juni party. This amount of liquor, just this, just to taste the liquor. But it's been almost 4 years without drinking. It is
Man,
good,
it's
very good.
it's a huge win, and I guess if I'm getting what you're saying right here, it's about okay. I'll be a little philosophical now. If you start to pay attention, regardless of whatever walk of life, whatever thing you do, whatever you believe, I believe in God and in an afterlife. I don't believe in anything, but whatever you believe, the sure thing that you do have is here, the present, because the past you cannot go back and access, just a memory. The future is just an idea, so the present is everything. So you must, okay, it's impossible to have fun all the time, but it must be a calm, nice experience as much as possible. So, like you're saying, build up a healthy routine. This is like doing an investment in your quality of life, right? Like
There's
sometimes we
an Indian philosopher that helped me a lot, and he mentioned this thing you said that past is out, is it's away from you. You can't go back and change it. Future is an idea. So the only thing we have is present. That's why it's called present. And we
yes.
have a present, we have to enjoy it.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, okay, building a routine. One thing I guess you would agree. You seem to be a very sociable person by the experience. You must have that time of the week where you see people that's you do something that makes you feel part of a group that you are loved and respected.
Yes.
Because we are social creatures, so this is highly important. I don't know. I remember a time that when I was very sad and going through depression, I was very isolated. I didn't want to see anyone, and this
Felt
was
this
before
before.
the pandemics, way before. And it makes all different. Even if you go to a place with somebody you trust and you share or you talk or you don't talk, but you do something together, uh, it makes a lot of difference. It kind of recharge your battery a little bit.
Interacting with people, making new friends. Even though when you are getting older, your social battery is going lower, but
Exactly, exactly.
but it's good sometimes. You can have fun. At least if the person is not so kind to you, you have the opportunity to practice the philosophy that says the problem is not with me. with
Uh-huh.
him, with her.
Don't punch people in the face. Just imagine sometimes. No. Um, okay, well, I think we can discuss another thing that is interesting, Kyle. How can I create a healthy work environment to avoid that professionals end up having this? Because, okay, part of the problem sometimes is in our routine. I don't want to remove the responsibility. We need to build a routine that is functional and healthy for ourselves. But a big part sometimes is the environment that we are. If you work in a place with, I don't know, a bunch of toxic people and crazy deadlines and overtime, I don't know. So, what would
Mhm.
be the ideal healthy workspace and work environment, in your opinion?
Well, we're human beings. We know that we can't find perfect people where we are, but what we can do to have a healthy environment in our work is talk, express your feelings in a respectful way. Something that I think it's very important is to English courses, English schools, for example, or regular schools, to provide a training on non-violent communication. It's very nice. And sometimes take psychologists to the school to make some games, some activities to make people interact and show them how important it is for them to feel part of a group and express their feelings and make people conscious that uh, it's okay to need professional help. It's okay. If you're having problems with, for example, you work with 10 people and you're having problems with six, you need help. You need someone to make you look at the circumstances and look at the people in a different way, in a different position that you can see what you can do to make your life easier for you and for them. What I believe.
And for example, if you hurt your leg, you go to the doctor, to the physiotherapist, or whatever. There's no shame on it. Okay, it depends on how you broke your leg, but that's another subject. In general, you will be not ashamed of asking for help. Our brain's a part of our body, so sometimes we need professional help. It's fine. Okay, nice, man. I'm glad that you walked out of this and you are here sharing with us. I'm sure it can help other people listen. This is very nice. Okay, we are running out of time already. I told you, the time flies. Yeah. So, okay, let's end this. Let's wrap this up sharing something for the students. Okay, what are the tips that you can give for somebody that is maybe beginning, initiating this learning process, a bit insecure, see like going abroad is just this far away dream. So, what are the tips that you can give to these students?
As you are here studying people, keep in mind that in the beginning of the process, you won't be perfect. You won't speak perfectly. You won't listen to everything and understand everything perfectly. And practice. Don't worry if you are going to say something that sounds wrong, because in the learning process, there is no wrong. Okay. And ask the more you can from your teachers. Ask them to help you with hints of books, of audios, of videos. Um, do your job. Not only wait for teacher to take your hand and take you through the learning process. You have to take your feet, to get your feet and walk. And when you arrive in the United States, when you go, when you travel to that country and you arrive there and you feel a little insecure, trust yourself. Remember that in an English school, when you study English, you learn the basis. Or if you study a little more, you have the advanced course. But the basis you have will help you communicate with foreigners in the United States and Native Americans too. And one very important tip that I give to you: every time you are on the streets or in a shopping center or in a store, you need information, help, ask elder people. Ask elder people. They are very nice and very
They like
patient.
to chat, right?
Yeah, they like. That helped me a lot. I learned this. Even in Kansas City and in Philadelphia.
Nice. Thank you so much, Caio, man. A lot
No,
of
I
interesting
thank you.
experiences there. I'm sure you inspired a lot of students, man, because it's like you said, it's okay to feel insecure at the beginning, but I hope people listen, to this and feel like, okay, I'm gonna do it too, and I'm gonna go abroad and cook my own food.
Here for you. You hear,
Nice.
guys?
Uh, Thank you so much, man. Nice talking to you. And before I
To
forget, this episode is going to be on Spotify tomorrow, next week, same day, same time. And if somebody wants to reach you, Kyle, where can they find you?
They can find me at Caio 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗏𝗧𝗏 with E in the end. Caio 𝗧𝗏𝗧𝗏 on Instagram. And yeah, only this. I don't have a channel on YouTube. But on
Okay.
Instagram, I make videos with hints in English.
Oh, this
Tips
would be
and hints
cool.
in English. People will
Go
like it.
there and send a hi to Kyle. Oh, I saw you in the Talking Times. Thank you so
Okay.
much, man.
Thank you
You.
too.
And
Bye
see you
bye.
tomorrow. No, see you next week, guys.